Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Grammars, I'm a German gold maker in World of Warcraft, and I thought it's been a long time since I've made an English gold making video, especially when it goes to TradeSkillMaster. And I had the idea to make a little series here on my channel where we talk first Brannick, where we talk about TradeSkillMaster at all. So we make a little deep dive video series, guide series, where we talk about what is TradeSkillMaster actually, what is the desktop app, what are TSM groups operations, and we also have a look on TSM price sources, specific price sources, so in my opinion the important price sources which are needed for TradeSkillMaster, and we also have a look on the TSM settings today. So first of all, like I said in all of my English videos here, I'm a German guy, so if my pronunciation isn't that correct or if I may have some brain lags because I don't know how to pronounce specific stuff, I'm sorry for that, just ignore it. I would still keep talking, hoping that you still understand what I mean. And yeah, today we're going to talk about TradeSkillMaster at all. So what is TradeSkillMaster, what is it made for, what is it used for? We'll talk about the desktop application, and we're gonna talk about the TSM settings, okay? It won't be a short video. I already made an attempt yesterday to make my first part in here, but I got so many brain lags because it was already too late. I got my second yet now. But I'm still a bit tired and my first cup of coffee isn't empty yet, so I may have another brain lags now too, but I don't care. I want to finish my first video where we talk about the first steps of TradeSkillMaster, okay? So, first of all, what is TradeSkillMaster? TradeSkillMaster is a gold making add-on where you have some price sources or price values for every item which is sellable on the auction house, okay? But also, you could add items to a group, let's say a TradeSkillMaster group, and then you can attach functions to this group, so TSM, the add-on, knows what you want to do with these added items, okay? We don't make a deep dive yet about all the different operations, but as example here, you have a TradeSkillMaster group. You could also use subgroups. I'm sorry this is still in German because it was one of my German TradeSkillMaster guides in here. But you have your TSM group as example for mail, leather, plate and cloth, speed items back from Dragonflight, okay? And you have the operation tab, and here you have the option to attach specific operations to the group. And the operations are the functions. So TSM knows what you want to do with these groups on the auction house, on the vendor, when you want to craft something with professions, etc, etc, okay? So you got the auctioning operation. This is the function where TSM knows what you want to do with the group in your auction house. Would you like to post them? Would you like to cancel them? How many items would you like to post? So your post cap, what is your post duration, 12 hours, 1 day or 2 days? And also, of course, you add your minimum price, your normal price and your maximum price in your auctioning operation. Then you have the crafting operation. This is the operation which manage your restock when it goes to crafting items. Let's say crafted transmog items, crafted mounts, crafted profession tools for the war within, even Dragonflight, everything which is craftable can be also restocked with a crafting operation, okay? Then we have the mailing operation, pretty simple too. You add a character name to the mailing operation, you attach the mailing operation to the group, and everything which is added to the group gets mailed to the character, okay? So you also have some other options in your mailing operation, but we're gonna talk about all these operations, like I said before, in another video. Then you have the shopping operation, pretty simple too. You add a maximum shopping price. So let's say you want to have items displayed which are below 50% DB market. So 50% of your real market value, the average. So you add 50% DB market in your shopping operation, you attach the shopping operation to your TSM group, and every item which is added in the group gets displayed in your one shopping skin on the auction house if these are posted for below your 50% DB market, so for below your maximum shopping price, okay? Same goes to the sniper operation. There you have your maximum sniper price. It's likewise the same like the shopping operation. You add a maximum sniper price, and everything below this value gets displayed in your TSM sniper scan. Then you have the vendoring operation. You could add some options when it goes to selling items by the vendor or when it goes to buying items by the vendor. So you may want to restock your group or your bank, that way, with specific vendor items like pigments or like any other items which are needed for professions. Okay, so you can add stack size, a max quantity in your vendoring operation, let's say 200, and you automatically buy 200 of specific items from the vendor, or you restock to 200. Let's say you have 5 of something left and you want to restock these vendor materials to 200. The vendor operation would buy 195 again to reach the 200 stack. Okay, and same goes for selling items. You could add some values in there. So let's say everything below value X with the percentage number of X gets sold by the vendor. Okay, so everything below this value gets sold, and everything which is above these values keeps in your bank, so you can post them in the auction house when it belongs to transmog items. Okay, warehousing operation. It's, to be honest, a little bit outdated. I don't use the warehousing operation at all that much anymore, but this operation manage your bank, your guild bank, your war bank, and also your bags when it goes to moving items across your bank, your guild bank, and your war bank. So you can move a certain amount, so a certain stack like 50 to your bank, or back to your war bank, blah blah blah. But you could also use a restock option. So you might wanna restock your bag out of your bank. So example here again, if you want to restock 200 of materials in your bag, you have 5 left in your bag, but you have still some left in your war bank, so you would move 195 again to your bag to reach the 200 stack again. Okay, so these are the basic brainlag. Okay, these are the basic explanations, let's call it like this, about all the operation you could add to your TSM group. Okay, so like I said before, we're gonna make a deep dive of every single operation later on in another video. And this is TradeSkillMaster overall. So the first question already got answered. TradeSkillMaster is an add-on to add items to a group and to add functions to a group, and to also have specific information like price sources on each item, which is sellable on the auction house. Okay, alrighty, so we move to the next step, and this is the TradeSkillMaster desktop application. Let's say you have freshly installed TradeSkillMaster Desktop App, the TradeSkillMaster Desktop App, and you have freshly created a new TSM account. You would have to log into your desktop application on your computer, and you would have the Veeam Data tab, the add-on version, backup tab, and the accounting export tab. Your Veeam Data tab is kinda empty, I guess, at start, but you have to add your Veeams manually through your settings. Okay, but first of all, like I said, if you just have installed the desktop app, you would have to install TradeSkillMaster and the TSM app helper for retail true first. Keep in mind, being offline in World of Warcraft while you install TradeSkillMaster and the TSM app helper is pretty important. Okay, so let's say you haven't installed it yet, you would also get the red text in here, and in here with not installed, double click to install. So you double click the file of TradeSkillMaster here, and also for the TSM app helper. First step done. Okay, and let's say you're playing on Veeam Blackmore like I do, and you would like to get the Veeam data for Blackmore. So here the B market as example, the recent value, or the min buyout. You go to your setting tab, then you go to the general tab in here, and here you have the option to add another Veeam to your desktop app. So as example, if you're playing on Europe and you want to add Blackmore, you select Europe Blackmore and hit the add button, and it automatically gets added to your Veeam data list. Okay, then Another step I would do here is the notification tab. I just disabled everything because I don't want to get notified if I get a new backup from the desktop app or if the new VM data got downloaded. I've just disabled all of them here, okay? And last step is the backup tab. I would like to create a backup every 30 minutes and delete the backups after 1 month. So every backup which is older than 1 month, it just gets deleted again, okay? Okay, so we got the desktop app explained too. So all the important things got mentioned here. I guess if I forgot something, let me know, but I think I don't have forgot anything here. Alrighty, we are back in the game and now we're talking about all the TSM settings. We have the General Setting tab first. General option, enable region-wide trading. If enabled, TradeSkillMaster will load data like inventory, accounting and goal tracking. From every VM you have characters on instead of just connected VMs. Which means, let's say we move over this item. We have the inventory information. So here Grammos has 30 in his bags, 0 on my bank, 0 on the auction house, and 0 in my mailbox. If I would have another character which is not on Blackmore right now, let's say it's on Black Hand, and if this character has some primal mana left in his bag, it would also get displayed in my inventory information just with the name plus the information on which VM the character is at actually. Okay, so if we enable the region-wide trading, the inventory information data is shared across all your VMs from all your characters instead of just VM-specific characters here. Okay, also for your accounting data, which means your purchase data and your sold data, when you have sold something or when you have bought something, no matter from which VM, it will also get shared and displayed on any VM you are online. Okay, and then also the gold amount gets shared too in your gold graph, in your ledger and in your dashboard tab of TradeSkillMaster. Then you have the next option, share operation between all profiles. Normally, by default, it's when you have a TSM profile, like here, my open world mock spread, island mock, blah, blah, blah. Every created operation is profile specific created, so they won't get shared across all TSM profiles. But you can do it when you enable the share operation between all profiles. Personally, I don't do it. I would like to have profile specific operations since I have a lot of different TSM profiles with a lot of different calculations. Okay, so the next part is filter group item lists based on the following prices. We're going to talk about this option later on in my second or third video when we talk about adding items to TSM groups, okay? So I could give you a better example there than too. The next option is the chat tab. So in which chat tab of World of Warcraft would you like to get TSM notification? Like you have sold something, you have opened TSM mailboxing or any other TSM information. I have set it by default to allgemein, so the what's the name in English for allgemein? Overall? General? The general chat? It's the general chat. You could also use any other chat tab in here when you have created some on your own. You could also select it here too. Forget character. This option, you normally shouldn't use this option except if you have moved specific characters to another VM. Let's say I'm here on my character Grammos, Blackmore, and I move this character to Black Hand. TSM would still have the data based on where my character was still on Blackmore, so the data gets outdated in a few days, okay? And you want to forget these character data if you have moved some characters to another VM. So let's say I'm now on Black Hand instead of Blackmore. I forget the character Grammos Blackmore, and I get the updated version of Grammos Black Hand later on automatically than if I have TSM enabled on Grammos again. Okay. Same goes with ignore guilds. You could also ignore guilds. These are one of my gold making guilds. Here, selecting any guild in this drop-down will instruct TradeSkillMaster to disregard the contents of the guild bank for inventory tracking purposes. Let's say I would have in Gramo Islands some of my primal mana left, okay? The guild bank would also be tracked in my inventory information, but if I don't want to have specific guild banks tracked in my inventory data, you could also ignore these guilds in here. Then you could also select all or deselect all, like here and there. But personally, I don't use it too here because all these guilds which are tracked here are my own guilds, okay? Then we got the destroy value source. Select from any available price source in the drop-down list to change the way TradeSkillMaster values results of destroying an item like disenchanting, prospecting, or milling. Let's say, do we have an example item in here? We have a transform value. This is also the destroy value in here. Let's say we have set the destroy value source to the market value, so the DB market. You calculate the destroy value based on the DB market of these items. So let's say the lesser celestial essence would say it has a transform value of 14 gold and 77 silver. Because if you create lesser essences, you create 3 of them when you click on it, okay? Like here, and now I got F, and now I got 8, and now I got 1 again here. It multiplicates the DB market value of the lesser essences with 3, because you get 3 if you transform them, okay? So we move it one time back again here as example. Here the DB market value is 4 gold and 92 silver. 4 gold and 92 multiplied with 3 is 14 gold and 76. Okay, it's rounded because of some copper values, but it's rounded to 14 gold and 77 silver. So the transform value is also correct because it's based on the market value which is selected here. You could also use any other value here, like historical price, the recent value, but personally I wouldn't change anything at all here, so keep it to the market value. AuctionDB data alternate VM. Like I said before, we have added our VMs here on the desktop application. And now we would get the Blackmore VM specific data like min buyout, recent value, and market value. This is for Blackmore only, but you could also use or add an alternate VM from your desktop application. Let's say I would also like to get the BlackRock VM data displayed on my items, even if I'm not on BlackRock Online. So I could add BlackRock here. You would have to do a little reload. I don't do that now. And then you could add in your tooltip settings the DB min buyout as example, or the recent value or the market value of your added alternate VM, so it also gets displayed in your TSM AuctionDB information of your item tooltip. Okay? Then we set it back to none because we don't want to do it now. We also have the TSM profiles. So this is a place where you want to create your own TSM profile. I suggest to actually don't use the default profile, just create a new one. Let's say here, hi YouTube. And then you have a fresh created TSM profile without any operations, only the default one, and without any TSM groups. Here, of course, you have some options like reset the current profile to the default settings. Let's say you have added some groups or operations. You could also reset everything in there to default, so everything is empty again. You could rename the TSM profile, but you could also duplicate the profile. And any TSM profile which isn't selected right now, so every profile except Hi YouTube, has another option to actually delete the profile. So if you don't want to have any old TSM profiles you've created before or in the past, just remove the profile. Account sync, that is something when you have another account or multiple accounts and you want to sync both accounts as example to share the VM information also like profession data, so you could use the value crafting on the same VM, just on another account, but also the character information like inventory data, but also dashboard and ledger information when it goes to your purchase data or your sold data. When you sync both accounts from the same VM and the same faction, all the characters on this VM on both accounts gets just shared. It's likely the same option like enable region-wide trading, but here you just combine the VM-specific data from your two accounts. Okay, so it doesn't share all the other VM data from your second account, let's say from VM Blackrock or Arthas Equin, just from the same VM. Also keep in mind, you could also sync your accounts when you are on the same VM, like I said before, but also when you are on the same faction only. You can't sync two characters if they are not on the same VM and if they are not on the same faction. So Blackmore Horde, Blackmore Alliance doesn't work. It has to be Blackmore Alliance as example, okay? So now we move to the next, and this is the tooltip setting. Of course here, general options. Would you like to enable the TSM tooltip, yes or no? Of course, yes, we would like to have TSM information data. If you set it to no, we don't get anything here, okay? TSM tooltip, if we disable it, we have two different item tooltips here. One time the Primal Mana, which is just the Blizzard default tooltip, and then a second tooltip with all the TSM data. But I would like to end this so we just have one single big tooltip. Then tooltip price format. Would you like to get the price numbers displayed with icons or with letters? That's really up to you. I like to use letters instead of the icons. Show modifier none. If you use the Alt key or the Control key as example here, you only get the item tooltip of TSM disabled when you hit the Control key as example. Okay? But I would like to keep it to none, so I just get it displayed permanently. Groups operation. What would you like to have to get displayed in your item tooltip? Personally, I only want to have the group name displayed and maybe also the auctioning operation. So if we move to this little item here, we also get the data that we haven't. Give me a second. I will just add it to a little group here. It was North End, to give you a little example. We add this here, and now we have the group name and the auctioning operation name in our tooltip too. So here, TSM General Info, the group name is new group, and the auctioning operation, which is attached to the new group, is the auctioning operation with the name default. Okay? So personally, like I said before, I would like to enable only these two in here from the group and operation tab. You could also add your custom sources here. So you have the tab custom sources here, and you could also enable them. You can enable them in the values, not in the groups and operations. So we're going to talk about it later on, of course, too. If you would like to also get the name of the crafting operation displayed, go for it. Also with the mailing, shopping, sniper, vendoring, or warehousing operation. Now we go to the values tab. And here we have the full destroy tooltip or the simple destroy tooltip. Here. We gonna delete this as example here first. The full destroy tooltip or the simple destroy tooltip. Let's move it to simple destroy tooltip. The simple destroy tooltip will just say the transform value of 3 gold and 80 silver if we move 3 lesser essences into 1 big essence, okay? But if we activate the full destroy tooltip, we would also get the information what kind of item we get if we would transform it to another new item, okay? Then we got the full convert tooltip. This is likewise, here's example, the same like the transform value. It's the convert value because you could convert this item to another item. And here, of course, too, it's the same. Lesser celestial essence multiplied with 3, because you get 3 of the lesser ones if you convert one greater essence. Okay? If you want to have a convert tooltip information, use the full convert or the simple convert. And if you don't want to have any convert information in your tooltip, you could also delete this here and you just have none of them displayed. Except the destroy tooltip, but if you don't want to have this too, you could also disable this also. So I just keep it to the full destroy and the full convert tooltip. Next step is the vendor buy price and the sell price. So let's say you can buy this item by a vendor, you would also get, or let's use this item as example. If you can buy this item by a vendor, you would also get the vendor buy price displayed in your TSM general information. But since it's a drop, or you would have to use mode of mana, like the convert transform value displays it here right now, mode of mana duplicated with 10, you would not get any vendor buy price information. But you could sell it by a vendor actually. And here you have the vendor sell price of 40 silver. So we got the sell price of 12 gold, but it's because we have 30 in here. So we take one stack in here, and now it's correct. So the vendor sell price in the TSM general information is 40 silver, and the sell price itself says 40 silver too, when we have a look on the Blizzard information above. Okay. Then, like I said before, we also have a custom source tab where we could create our own custom sources like values, big calculation. I could give you a little example. This is for my transmog group, for my farm transmog items, a big calculation, and you could also let this calculation being displayed in your tooltip settings too. So let's say we just use mog1, and based on the calculation of my custom source mog1, we would also get a value in here in the TSM general information. Custom source mog1 would calculate a value of 91 gold and 3 silver. Personally, of course, I wouldn't like to have any custom source displayed in here in my item tooltip, because I mostly use these custom sources in my operations, okay? But you don't have to use any complicated or difficult price strings, or you don't have to use custom sources at all, okay? It's just some advanced stuff, but you really don't have to use any of that here, okay? So you could also display custom sources in your tooltip. And then we have the inventory tab in our tooltip setting. Simple inventory or full inventory. Let's say you have the full inventory. So you get the character's name displayed in your inventory information. I got 30 on my character Gramos. 30 are in my bags, 0 of them in my bank, 0 on the auction house, and 0 in my mailbox. But when we move it to the simple inventory, we just get the information that we got 30 left on a player. Okay, so the information is simple but not full. So I would like to have the full inventory information instead of this simple one in here. Then we got the accounting data. Purchase information, sale information, the sale rate, expired information, and cancelled information. Personally here, I would like to only get the purchase information displayed and the sale information. So if I have purchased this item, the primal mana, I get my minimum price displayed, the average price, and my maximum price of what I have paid for primal mana in here. So you get this in the TSM accounting information in your tooltip here right now, okay? And you also have the sale information. So I have sold 4 primal mana on this character here, with a minimum sold price of 170 gold. 170 gold is my average, and also 170 gold is my maximum sold price. You also have the option here with the sale rate, but personally I wouldn't activate the sale weight. We got the DB region sale weight. We're going to talk about the sale weight later on, but the sale weight here is your own sale weight calculated based on how many times you have posted the item until it got sold, okay? But here, of course, personally, I wouldn't use it and I wouldn't like to get it displayed. Expired information is a little counter here, so we got it here in the TSM accounting example too. Let's say you post something for 1 day and it expires. Your expire count would stood at 1 then, okay? If it expires again, it would count 2, it would count 3, 4, and so on. But if you have sold this item, the counter for the expired would reset to 0, of course. Same goes with the... where is it? I'm blind. With the cancelled information. But personally here, of course, too, I wouldn't like to get it displayed. Both of them. And now we got to the important part of AuctionDB. Personally, I would like to get displayed the DB min buyout, the recent value, the market value, so the DB market, the region market average, so the region market value, the region sale average, the region sale rate, and the region average daily sold. You could also use the alternate VM data here, like I have explained in the general settings with the alternate VM. But for now, I would like to use these values here only. So the DB min buyout is the current cheapest posted item on your VM based on the last snapshot from TradeSkillMaster. So TradeSkillMaster got updates every 1 hour, and based on this snapshot from the hour update, from the 1 hour update, let's say it like this, it's the DB min buyout display then, okay? So as example here, the min buyout would be 16 gold. So this is the current cheapest posted item based, so the cheapest posted price based on the last snapshot. And the TSM AuctionDB data is over 1 hour old. So I could make a little reload after that. And then we get updated information here. And then we see, okay, the TSM auctioning database is 36 minutes old. So 36 minutes ago, TSM got the new update, and now the min buyout is not 16 gold anymore, it's 15 gold and 50 silver based on the last snapshot. So min buyout is the current cheapest posted price for every item. Okay? So we open the TSM settings again and talking about the next prices. Then we got the market value, the DB market. DB market is the average value of an item on your VM, of your VM. Okay, so let's say we have a VM specific item, this one here, and it has a market value of 333 gold. This gets calculated, simple explained, based on the last 14 days of your VM prices. And based on that, it calculates the DB market. So it says, okay, on my VM, this item has a market value of 333 gold. Okay. Then we have the recent value, which is likewise the same calculation of DB market. But instead of the average based on 14 days, it calculates the average recent value based on the last snapshot of the API. So likewise the min buyout, but the min buyout is, like I said before, the cheapest posted auction based on the snapshot, and the recent value is the average value based on the last snapshot. So also this price gets updated every hour again and again, okay? And then we got the region market value, so the DB region market average. This is the regional average value, so not VM specific like the market value. The region market value gets calculated based on all market values of all your regional VMs. Okay, so as example, the Europe has 92 VMs. So we got 92 dB markets. So it counts every dB market value divided by 92 to get an average, and this is the dB region market average value. Okay, and then we got the region sale average, which is nice to know. The region sale average is mostly a bit more accurate than the region market value average, and mostly a bit lower than the region market value average, like you see in my tooltip here too. The region sale average is the average buy price of an item calculated by all TSM users. Why it's calculated by all TSM users only, it's because the Blizzard API doesn't provide any buyout or sold data. Okay, so TSM use the data from the TSM users to calculate its own average buy price of each item. Okay, so the DB region sale average tends to be more accurate when it belongs to define a price what people would like to pay for an item. So here's example, the region market value average just displays the average value, but it doesn't mean it gets sold for this value. Okay, so we also have the region sale average, and this is the price what people would like, or what people have paid for on average for this item. So instead of 1,400 gold as example, people have paid around 835 gold on average for this little item. Okay, then we also have the region sale rate and the region average daily sold, and I would like to use the material here as example. The region sale rate on Primal Mana is at 0.150, which means you have a 15% chance that the item gets sold when you post it. On average, it's of course not accurate, it's not 100% accurate, but based on the calculations, if you post it for, let's say, 1 day, 24 hours, you have a 15% chance that this item gets sold instead of being expired in your mailbox. Okay, and the region average daily sold just displays the average, of course, here too, how many items getting sold each day in your region. So I'm playing on in Europe, and this would display around 290 Primal Mana getting sold each day on Europe realms. Okay, but also here, of course, like the region sale rate, it's just an average. It's not 100% accurate, so you might have more sales or lesser sales sometimes, but not exactly 219 of Primal Mana, of course. Okay, then we have the next step, and this is the auctioning tooltip settings. Post quantity, min, normal, and max price. As example, we have the new group in here with the Tome of Illusion, okay? And the default operation has a post cap of 5, okay? Remember the 5? And if we enable the post quantity in here, we would also get in our TSM auctioning tooltip information a post quantity of 5. So it displays the post cap which is assigned in your auctioning operation. Personally, I wouldn't have this activated in here. But what I would like to have activated in here is the min, normal, and max price. So we have a look on it, and we have the TSM auctioning information, min, normal, max prices. 158 gold, 1,270 gold, and 3,175 gold. And these values are calculated based on these strings in here from the default operation. We could also make an example. Let's say we type in here 50 gold as my minimum price, 100 gold as normal price, and my maximum price is 200 gold. And when we hover over this item now again, because it's attached with the default auctioning operation, we have the min, normal, and max price displayed here too in our tooltip for 50 gold, 100 gold, and 200 gold. Okay, so I would always enable this little option so you have a look on your prices before you run a post scan. So maybe you have done something wrong, or you are missing some digits in your auctioning operation, so you have a look on it first before you run a post scan, and you may make an accident with a fail post scan. Maybe you post something way overpriced or way underpriced. Is underpriced the word? Underpriced? Way too low. You know what I mean, okay? So you can adjust your operation before you run the post scan then, okay? And of course, we would like to have crafting information in our tooltip setting. As example here, Tome of Illusion North End. We have no crafting information yet in our tooltip setting, but we could enable the crafting cost. So we get the information. TSM crafting has a crafting cost of 120 gold and 54 silver. Okay. Also with a profit of 112 gold when I sell it. Now based on the min buyout of 245 gold and 74 silver. Now I would also like to have detailed crafting cost. So I also get the items, the materials listed which are needed for each craft, and also what the cost of each material is actually based on the quantity which is also needed for one of each tome. So here we got Dream Shard, we need 5 of them, we need 4 Eternal Water, 8 Greater Essences, 3 Parchment and 10 Abyss Crystal. And also there we get the price of each material, so we would have to pay on average 22 gold and 1 silver for 10 Abyss Crystal, or also 80 gold and 40 silver for 4 Eternal Water. Okay, and also we would like to get the mud cost displayed. We're gonna talk about the mud cost, or another name material price, mud price, later on in another video when we create our groups and our operations, but the mud cost is simply explained the material price you would have to pay on this material actually to craft the items. Okay, so here's example, it's the material cost of 3 gold, and the 3 gold stands for the DB recent value. DB recent is the recent value, okay? Normally it would display the market value, but I have adjusted my own calculation for the material prices. We're going to talk about it later on, of course, too. So material price, mud price, is just the price of a material you would have to pay on average when you want to use it for a craft. Okay? Max shopping price and max sniper price, of course. Let's say we attach a shopping operation or a sniper operation to a group. Yeah, we add here the default is DB market. Also here, let's say we add 50 gold as our maximum auction price, and also shopping price, not auctioning price, and then we add also 50 gold at our sniper operation price. We have them attached on the new group, the example group, and when we enable in our tooltip settings the max shopping price and the max sniper price, we have the TSM shopping information that our max shopping price of this item would be 50 gold, and if you would like to snipe this item, of course, too, it would also display 50 gold as sniper max price. Personally, I wouldn't activate the shopping price on here, but the sniper price if you want to snipe some specific items, of course, too. Especially, you could also, let's say you could also activate the max shopping price, so when you have some custom strings in your shopping operation or in your sniper operations. So if we add a new operation, you have the default here. So if you want to know the exact gold value for a sniper price of this calculation, you could attach this group as example, this operation here on this group, and then you get the max sniper price of 145 gold and 15 silver. So 145 gold is calculated based on this big string in here. Okay, so if you have some complicated strings, then activate max shopping price and the max sniper price. But if you use some fixed gold values, like I just want to have everything snipe below 1000 gold, 2000 gold, 200 gold, you really don't have to activate the max sniper price in here, okay? But personally, I would like to get the max sniper price displayed. Then we have the accounting tab. Track sales and purchases via trade. So if you have sold or bought something via TradeSkillMaster, you could track these sales in your ledger for your revenue or for your purchase data, but you could also disable it, so you don't want to track any trade sales, okay? Don't prompt to record trades. Disable the confirmation for tracking sales or purchases from trades. If you have enabled the track sales, you also get a confirmation TSM tab. Would you like to track it, yes or no? And if you activate this, don't prompt it, you would automatically track it without asking. Clear all data. You can clear all the counting data for the current VM below to keep things running smoothly. Let's say you're running the add-on TradeSkillMaster for over 4 years now. You have a lot of ledger data like sold items or purchased items, and it may appear that the add-on gets a bit slowly if it has too much data in its file, okay? Then you could also clear ledger data which is older than 365 days, or which is older than 100 days, 50 days, whatever you would like to enter in here. Okay? Not 200, we want 300 back. Then appearance. You could also change the appearance of the TradeSkillMaster interface here. Hide the minimap icon, lock the task list background, or show the total gold and header. You could also activate these little options if you would like to use it. And also here you could also enable some other things in here, but personally I just use the Midnight UI. Okay. Then we go to the auctioning tab, the general option. Cancel auctions with bids. If enabled, TSM will cancel undercut auctions even if they have a bid on it. If you enable this, like the text says already, you also cancel items even if you have a bid on it. Even if someone had a bid on your posted item, Braindeck. Disable invalid price warnings. Let's say you have an auctioning operation with something where it doesn't work, okay? So the item doesn't get posted because the price you have added with a string isn't valid. You would normally get a TSM message here that the item doesn't get posted because the source of the value X is invalid. You could also disable any warnings from TradeSkillMaster in here, okay? Then you could also use the auction house sounds when the scan is complete, when the confirm complete sound this way, but also the auction sell sound if you have sold something. I have it to no sound because I don't like any sounds in the game. Destroy tab. Enable automatic stack combination. Enable destroying frame automatically. Let's say you have a disenchanter and you have something in your bag, you dropped something, TSM destroy would open itself. We could make a test, TSM destroy, and we got nothing. Okay, include soulbound items. Now we got the TSM destroy. And then here, automatically combine smaller stacks of herbs and ores as needed for milling and prospecting. So if you want to mill or prospect any items in here, like ores or herbs, you would need 5 of each. But if you have, let's say, 3 here left, give me a second. Let's say these are ores, okay? You would combine the 3 stacks automatically in your destroy window in order to prospect the ores, okay? Then show the destroy frame automatically. Let's say it's closed and you loot any item, the TSM destroy frame would automatically open itself. You could also include soulbound items, so if you have any items in here you don't need anymore, you could also press the destroy next button in order to disenchant these items. Disenchanting option, maximum disenchant quality. Would you also like to disenchant epic items in here? Or maybe only blue items, or maybe only green items? Let's say we want to keep the epic ones in our bags. We close TSM Destroy and have a look if it already got updated. No, so we take a little reload. Ta-da! And then we have only the blue ones left because we ignore the epic ones in our TSM Destroy window. So, only show items with a disenchant value above this price. I have set it to 0 copper because I would like to disenchant everything, no matter the value. But you could also say I would only like to disenchant any item. Let's say here, the disenchant value would be 6 gold and 81 silver. If you type in here now, only show items with a disenchant value above 7 gold as example, nothing would get displayed because it was a disenchant value of below 7 gold and not above 7 gold, okay? So we move it back to 0 copper. TSM Destroy. Please don't let me do a reload again. TSM. Okay, back again. And then we also got the ignored items. So you could also ignore items in here. Click to hide this item for the current session. But if you hold shift by clicking the item gets ignored permanently. So let's say you don't want to disenchant the Maple Tender gloves for this current session. You just click on it. So let's say here, it just doesn't get displayed anymore for the disenchant. But let's say you don't want to disenchant the Windward Shroud permanently. You hold shift and then you click on this little icon and it gets displayed in your ignored items. And here you could also click on an item to unignore it again. Okay, so we just click on the Windward Shroud and it gets displayed in our TSM Destroy value again, Destroy tab, brain neck. Alrighty, next is the mailing tab. Enable inbox chat message. If enabled, TSM will add a chat message describing mail being opened. So you get a chat message where you get the information of what kind of items you are opening right now, what gets in your bag as example, okay? Amount of bag space to keep free. Let's say you want to have 2 free slots in your bag instead of having full bags because you have moved all your mock items to a bench as example. Then you set this amount here to 2. But I would like to keep it to 0. Open mail complete sound. I personally wouldn't have any sound in here if my mailbox is empty. And sending the settings, also enable the sending chat messages. If enabled, TSM will add a chat message describing the mail being sent. So if you mail something, you also get the TSM chat message, another brain neck, that you have mailed item X to player X. Okay? Send group items individually. Setting this result in different items being sent in separate mails rather than mixing them within the same mail when sending with mailing operation. Personally, I don't care at all. So let's say I have 2 different items with 2 different mailing operations, but the mailing operation sends it to the same character. Normally, without enabling this little option, all the items are combined in one single message, okay? So item 1 and item 2 are just combined in one mail and it gets mailed as one mail, okay? You know what I mean. But if you enable this little thing in here, you would mail 2 different mails to the character. One mail with the item 1 and the second mail with the item 2, okay? But like I said before, I don't mind that, so I keep it deactivated. Restart delay 1 minute, just keep it to 1 minute, and mail disenchantable max quality, that's fully up to you. You have your other tab here in your mailing, and you can mail disenchantable. So you could add your disenchanter's name in here, like here Barako, that's one of my monk, and if you set it to rare, and then you click on the send disenchantable, every item, including the blue quality, but excluding the epic quality of items, getting mailed to Barako as example here, so I can disenchant all these items on this character. Okay. And then we got the custom source. I already explained it at the start. Here you could add your own custom source. You give it a name. Hi YouTube. And let's say here 50 gold. And the display format could be a number, like here, only 50, or a percentage amount, or a gold value here. Okay, 50 gold. And then you could also use it in your tooltip settings. Where is it? Hi YouTube. I'm blind here. Then you could also use it here, and Hi YouTube get displayed in your custom source under the TSM General info with 50 gold. Okay. So now we got the crafting tab. We're gonna talk about the crafting tab in my second or third video, because this is the calculation how TSM tells you if something is worth it to craft actually because you make profit, or even if it's not worth it to craft it because it's lost. Okay, so we're gonna talk about these calculations later on. And then we got the macro tab. So here you can bind specific macros to your mouse wheel. Personally, I have my auctions cancel button, the auction post and cancel button, my shopping buyout button, the confirmation for a bid or a buyout button, the craft next button. I have it assigned to my macro of TSM. So if you have selected anything like this, you could also assign the mouse wheel if you want to have it activated when scrolling down or when scrolling up. Okay, I have it not on up and down, and I will explain it in a few seconds. So you hit on update existing macro, and then you also have this little TSM macro in here, the TSM macro. So you could also bind it to F1 as example. Okay, so if you move to the auction house and you want a post skin, you could also press F1 now as example. Here, F1 to post these items. Okay, I will cancel them now because it was just an example. But you could also, it's slow. Give me a second. But you could also, like I said before, bind it on your mouse wheel in your TSM macro tab. So let's say here you want a post scan and you have bind it to your mouse wheel. When you scroll down, you just move out of the TSM window from the auction house and scroll down, and then it gets posted like when I press the F1 button. Okay, so we cancel it one time again and move to the next tooltip part. So setting. Alright, next step is the browse and sniper. Autofocus browse search input is set to default activated, and the market value price source is DB market. The DB market here just displays the percentage amount. Let's say it's on DB market, your market value, and you would like to browse an item in your auction house with the browse tab. Okay, you shift left click on an item here as example, the primal mana, and you have the cheapest posted auction for 105 gold, and this displays a 93%. And 93% is just based on the market value of primal mana, so the DB market value, and the market value is actually on 113 gold and 70 silver, and 105 gold is just 93% of 113 gold and 70 silver. Okay, so this is just for the percentage display in your browse scan. Show confirmation alert if buyout is above the alert price. If enabled, TSM will display an additional confirmation when attempting to buy an auction above the value set in the buyout alert source setting. This can help avoid accidental purchase of expensive items. So let's say you enable this little option here, you also get another buyout confirmation alert when the current buyout price is on average above 200% DB market or 100,000 gold. But it depends on which one of these two values, so 100,000 or 200% DB market is the lowest. So we got the function min with the brackets. Let's say here min and the brackets, the one open bracket and the close bracket. And this just takes the lowest value within these brackets. So let's say we type in here 50 gold and 100 gold. Here, min with the bracket function would use 50 gold because 50 gold is lower than 100 gold. And based on that, you have min 100,000 gold and 200% DB market. So if 100,000 gold is lower than the current value of 200% DB market of a specific item, you would get another confirmation alert when the average buyer price would stood at 100,000 gold or above. Okay, but if min 200% DB market is lower than 100,000 gold, as example, you would also get the another confirmation alert when your average buy price of this item is at above 200% DB market, and you get the average value in here too. So you got the quantity, the unit price of one would be 105 gold, and it's 93% of the DB market, which is assigned here in the market value price source. Okay, but we could also take an example and type in here 1,500, so the unit price would change to 127 gold and 11 silver per unit, and this is already above 100% DB market. This would be the price of 112% DB market based on the current DB market value of that item. And the total price would be 190,000 gold, 658. Okay, so we close this little tab here too, and then we got the disenchant level range and the maximum disenchant search percentage. When running a disenchant search, only auctions which are listed for below this percentage of their disenchant value will be displayed in the search results. So it's set to 100%, so it will get displayed if it's below 100% of the distro value, which gets calculated based on the market value I showed you before at the start of the video. Okay, so everything above, everything below 100% of the calculated value gets displayed in your disenchant search option, or in your disenchant search tab, this little one in here in your browse tab. Okay, the disenchant level range, also the item level range to show the disenchant search results. You could also add an item level range. As example, I would only get items displayed which has at least an item level of 400 and a maximum item level of, let's say, 500. You could change that, but but by default I would keep it to 0 and to 700. Sniper option, if you have found any sniper with the TSM sniper function, you could also add a sound here, but personally here, of course, too, I wouldn't like to do it. Last step, and the last step for this video, is the vendoring tab. We have the general option, display the total money received in chat. Let's say you move to the vendor and you sell a lot of items, then you close the vendor tab and you also get the total money received in the chat when you have sold something. Okay, then you have the market value prices. This is likewise the same with the market value prices here with DB market, but I would like to use the DB region market average here instead of the DB market, which is by default set to DB market. Okay, so I enter here DB region market average, and what this does is pretty simple to explain too. You move to the vendor here and you go to the sell tab and you have a potential column here. And as example, if I click on it, it's sorted from cheap to expensive. And here it says the inking set has a potential of 151 gold. And this is currently the region market value average of that item, which is set here. The DB region market average should get displayed in the potential column and the tab in here. Okay, but if you let's say use the DB market and you do a reload, I would have to do a reload here right now to get it updated. You would have here the DB market values instead of the DB region market average of each individual item. Okay, so instead of 68 gold by the fire, I would have a market value of 68 true, but with 3 silver instead of 44 silver. Okay, so there is a little difference too. Also, you got the ignored items, same on the destroying tab here with the ignored items. You could also ignore items when it goes to selling them. So left click to ignore an item for this session, or hold shift to ignore it permanently. So I could also use the left click to ignore an item. I could also use the right click to sell an item, but I could also use shift left click to ignore the hissing room permanently, and it will also get displayed in here. And if I click on it again, it's unignored. Okay, that's it for the video. I have explained kind of a lot, I think. So what's TradeSkillMaster? Why do you want to use it? What does it do actually? And we have talked about the desktop application, and we have talked about all the settings in TradeSkillMaster. I would like to say thanks for watching first. Have much fun with gold making, and we see us in the next video, part number 2, where we talk about the dashboard, the ledger, and some of our professional information. Okay, see you next time.